Do you ever wonder why you can't compress the golf ball, you can't hit straight golf shots, you can't hit long golf shots, and you certainly can't hit good golf shots? Hi everyone, my name is James Robinson. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about compressing the golf ball. So that for me is a standard 8-iron. It should go around 155 to 160 yards, 156 going total 161. You see how I know that? That is because I know just how much dynamic loft I am delivering to that golf ball. Now, if you are unaware of what that means, make sure you stay tuned for this video because I'm going to get you good at golf. Also, if you want to get good at golf, check out the second channel, Get Good at Golf, that's linked in the description. But today we're on the Golf Zone simulator, and this has helped my golf game massively because I'm now working on numbers. I'm not working on how to hit the ball as far as physically possible. I'm working on how to hit the ball as consistently as physically possible. I'm a dad now. I don't have a lot of time to practice, not that I ever did anyway, but making sure that I'm playing consistent golf is something that is up there in my priorities. Okay, there's other stuff up there, but I'm making sure the practice is productive. So what do I mean by a compressed golf shot? Well, if I show you a non-compressed golf shot, we'll look at the difference in ball flight. You see, you might think that looks like an okay shot. It's airborne, it's good, it's up there. As soon as we look at the distance, 124 yards carry, 130 yards total. Now, if you keep your eyes glued to that screen and we have a look at the replay, you'll see actually there's something wrong with that weight transfer, isn't there? And if we watch this in slow motion as well, you will see that I load up okay on the way back and then I hang back and throw the hands at the ball. That's exactly what not to do. That's exactly how you don't compress a golf ball, and you saw what happened with that ball flight. That ball went left. You could potentially hit that right as well. If you hang back enough and throw the hands at it, you can see I'm a magician with this. We can even hit it out to the right. Again, that isn't what we want to do. That isn't a compressed golf ball. It's not a straight golf ball, and at 97 yards carry, it certainly isn't a long golf shot for an 8-iron either. So in order to do this, there's a couple of things I need to go through. I'm going to show you a really good drill as well that can help, but generally I want to make sure my weight transfer is correct. So a weight transfer in golf means I'm going to load up to my trail side. If you're right-handed, that's your right side. If you're left-handed, your trail side is your left side. And then from there, I'm going to rotate down into my lead side. So left foot for a right-handed golfer. Make sure the hips turn so I feel the weight moving into the left hip. Now here's the beauty of what we're going to do. Because the left hip has rotated, there's all this room here. Now this room is a perfect excuse to get the hands working more around the body. What that allows us to do is get a forward shaft lean that takes off loft dynamically. Who remembers the opening shot of this video? We're going to talk about compressing the golf ball. It should go around 155 to 160 yards. 156. You see how I know that? That is because I know just how much dynamic loft I am delivering to that golf ball. That's right, guys, we were talking about dynamic loft. So if I want to have a nice consistent dynamic loft, you better believe it's a dynamic loft that helps me hit the longest, best, straightest golf shot possible. So if I put all those things together, you can see again there, that is a really nice struck 8-iron. I'm projected onto the left side, the handle was forward, that's gone around 160 yards in the air, bang on 160.26. Apologies, but look at that for a replay instead. Look at that finishing position, rotated around, and if we look at the impact position as well, this is what I love about the Golf Zone system, look how that hip turns through there. That is a thing of beauty. The hands get to the ball before the club head does, and that helps me take loft off dynamically. So I know about that, I can do that. What if I can't do that? A really, really good drill to be able to do this is thinking about your trajectories. So I've got an 8-iron here. Now, if I don't compress the ball, if I don't get the handle forward, the typical ball flight I'm going to see, even with a pitch shot, is a really, really high ball flight. So that's gone quite high for a chippy 8-iron. How can I make this more difficult? How can I work on this and make sure I can A, control the loft, I can B, control the weight transfer, and I can C, play the golf of my dreams? Well, on the Golf Zone system, I'm going to jump on approach play here, and you can see I've got 54 yards out. Now I hear what you're thinking, James, why is a 55-yard golf shot going to help me compress an 8-iron? And it's a really, really good theory, this, because if I were to hit you a nice pitch shot with this 56-degree wedge, you'll see that's a really nice high shot. It's going to be about the right number. It might even go in. 59 yards, just over the flag. Now, that was quite high. It's difficult to control, just like this golf ball that's evaded me. Now, if I were to look at, again, my swing here, you can see that there's lots of loft being delivered to that club. So if we look at again, lots of loft being delivered, and that's okay for a nice standard 56-degree wedge, 55-yard shot, funnily enough. Now, if I were to control that loft more, if I were to compress this wedge more, how can I do that? So at setup, you'll see that I'm nice and kind of narrow. I've got the handle forward a little bit, and as I rotate round, I'm delivering quite a lot of dynamic loft. Statically, we know this is a 56-degree. Dynamically, I'm probably delivering 50, maybe 48. Now, what if I were to just make sure I rotate more, get the handle forward more, and deliver less dynamic loft? So I might deliver 40 degrees, I might deliver 45 degrees as opposed to 50. Now, I don't have to swing back as far because dynamically that ball's going to come out lower, and yes, it's going to come out hotter, so it's not going to suit this scenario. But for example, you can see there, look at the difference in those trajectories. That one's gone 43 yards in the air, but it's gone half the height. So I've made sure that I've moved into the left side, I've made sure that I've got a nice rotation, and I've made sure I've taken that loft off dynamically. Again there, a really nice shot. That's something which I'm trying to work on to make sure I can compress that ball. Now, that's a really, really good drill. Another thing you can do actually is throw an alignment stick or another club in for the middle of your stance. Now, what does this help with? This actually helps with, you'll see how I'm just kind of rolling with this, guys, because it's such an important factor in your golf game, but it's so simple to get right. I feel really, really passionate about you guys doing this correctly. So as soon as I have a focal point in the middle of my golf swing, I can get the weight left, and I can make sure that weight, if I want to play a full shot, transfers to the right, as we said, trail side, and then as I start the downswing, moves into the left side. If you're playing a short shot like this, you probably don't need to do that. You can just have the weight on your left side, and from there, it's a lot easier for me to hit that low shot, keep that weight on the left side, and stick it to a couple of feet on that green. Now, that's a great drill, but we don't always just want to compress a sand wedge. Compressing a sand wedge is a little bit easier because of the shaft length, because of the loft, because all the dynamics about this club. Now, what about if we go back onto the range here and I say, you know what's a hard club to compress? A 4-iron. A 4-iron is one of the longest clubs, or one of the longest irons in most people's bags, and luckily enough, I have mine here. This is my Mizuno JPX 4-iron. I've still got my club here for the focal point in the middle of the stance. How do I compress a 4-iron? Because it's so easy for people to think there's not a lot of loft on here. I want to make sure that I can get this ball up in the air. That's an okay shot with a 4-iron. It's a nice trajectory, it's drawing. It's also in the stands for the long drive. It's also only gone 170 yards. So this is where we look at a similar factor of what we were talking about earlier on with the 8-iron. But I'm going to make sure the ball position's a little bit further forward. And the key here is a nice shallow takeaway. So you still have a shallow angle of attack, but you're still going to take a little divot after the ball. A nice little Amex divot, I like to call it, a little credit card divot instead of a really big steep one, which you might take with a wedge. If I do all those things correctly, even with a 4-iron, you can see how I can start to compress every club in my bag. I can hit much straighter, much longer, much nicer feeling golf shots. And I think that's a better number for a 4-iron. 199 carry, 207 total. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed it. This golf zone system is changing the way I think about golf, and I hope that you can watch and come along for the ride. But apart from that, I'll see you all at exactly the same time tomorrow. Goodbye.